Today on Running to Him.
More mature Christians are to disciple younger Christians and should themselves be discipled. Today we will read 1 Timothy chapters 1 through 3 and concentrate on verses 1, 3 through 7. 1 Timothy chapter 1 verses 3 through 7 says, "As I urged you upon my departure from Macedonia, remain on at Ephesus so that you may instruct certain men not to teach strange doctrines, nor to pay attention to myths and endless genealogies, which give rise to mere speculation, rather than furthering the administration of God, which is by faith. But the goal of our instruction is love from a pure heart and good conscience and a sincere faith. For some men, straying from these things, have turned aside to fruitless discussions, wanting to be teachers of the law, even though they do not understand either what they are saying or the matters about which they make confident assertions." Well, in today's Protestant Christianity, it seems strange to suggest that someone placed themselves under another to formally be guided and discipled in Christianity. We can be free thinkers and seek our own spiritual growth by relying on our own senses and minds, we think. But that's not how the early church and some Christian denominations work today. They have a discipleship plan and have executed it since the earliest of times. The Pauline/Timothy relationship was one of a spiritual father to a spiritual son. The letters Paul wrote to him are clearly academic and designed for spiritual guidance. In his first letter to Timothy, Paul instructs him in many different aspects of how we should minister. The call-out verses discuss how to deal with people who were teaching heresy. Now, we might remember that Timothy was young and therefore could have been more assertive in his ministry, and pastors of a flock need to be powerful. Now, I stumbled across Ignatius, who lived from about 50 AD to about 117 AD, to a letter to Polycarp, who lived from about 69 AD to 155 AD. And Ignatius was about 10 years older than Polycarp, and both died a martyr's death. What is interesting is the assertiveness used by Ignatius in this letter. When dealing with heretics, Ignatius wanted Polycarp to be stronger than he seemed. Ignatius writes, "You must not be panic-stricken by those who have an air of credibility, but teach heresy. Stand your ground like an anvil under a hammer. A great athlete must suffer blows to conquer, and especially for God's sake, must we put up with everything so that God will put up with us. Show more enthusiasm than you do. Mark the times. Be on the alert for him who is above time, the timeless, the unseen, the one who became visible for our sakes, who was beyond touch and passion, and yet for our sakes became subject to suffering and endured everything for us." Now, here are two of the greatest men of the first and second centuries, and we see one encouraging the other. They are an example for us. We are to encourage one another to combat heresy. And today, there's a lot of heresy. The only way that we can combat heresy is by discipling those who will minister after us. Certainly, we should continue to learn and even be a disciple ourselves, but it is our responsibility to train those who will come after us. We who have been Christians longer need to take younger Christians under our wings and teach them how to be strong in their walk with Christ. It may be a person who is related to you, or it may be a person in your church. But if we do not disciple those who are coming after us, then the generation to follow will be in a mess.
Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.